What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video of the 3800 Daily. So today what we were doing is installing cradle spacers, and we are also doing engine and transmission mount spacers. So what are they? What are cradle spacers? What are they for? And especially, why would I put spacers on my engine mount and transmission mounts? Here's why. When you go to lower your vehicle, when you're putting on coilovers, you get something called axle wobble. No, not axolotls, axle wobble. What that does is it vibrates your car when you accelerate hard from a stop. And that's the result of your axle, the joints and everything in your axle vibrating because they're not straight, because they're not aligned properly. When you go to put the spacers in, it lifts this side up to match the height of your hub in which your axle goes into. That's just to fix the axle wobble for when you go to lower your vehicle. Having those for any other reason, really, there's no justice to it. Cradle spacers, on the other hand, are a different story. Cradle spacers are used to lower your engine down about a third of an inch, you know, something like that. And the way that it does that is you install them between subframe and the body that the subframe bolts onto. So basically, you'll be dropping your subframe on all four corners a little bit and doing one corner at a time. And you'll put that spacer in and it'll drop your engine this much height. And typically these are used for lowering center of gravity, which is always good. We all know that that's a great thing, to being low to the ground, you know. Also, those full stack boys that run those water to air intercooler systems, if you've got one like I do, you will be able, you already know that shit hits the hood. This is gonna drop it down and provide clearance, so that way it fits a lot better. You know, you're not cutting your hood out. You're not tearing up your throttle body actuator, or even the harness that plugs into it, the connectors. You're not messing that stuff up. So we're gonna get to go jacking the car up, and we'll probably get started on these. By the way, these are transmission mount and lower engine mount spacers. This is transmission, this is lower engine mount. So let's get to it. Okay, so I think we're gonna do the cradle spacers first. So if you look right here, that's going to be one of the bolts that we have to loosen. There's going to be another one over here. Hopefully you can see it. And then there's going to be another one right there. And another one right there. So we're going to loosen these just enough so that way it hangs a little bit. But we're going to do one corner at a time. There it goes. Alright, that's one side loosened. I'm going to try something. Put a jack right there on this far corner. I'm going to unscrew this one all the way. And the jack's going to hold the weight of this corner up. And I'm going to lower the jack just a little bit at a time until I can get the spacer in there. We'll see what happens. Alright. Well, that one's out. Seems to be doing good. We need to stick it up in here. Let's turn this just a little bit. Very so slightly. Oh, looky there. We got enough room now. Right there. Let me go grab a spacer real quick. Alright, so you get your spacer. Come up on this side. And slide it in. Just like that. And of course we're going to put our bolt back through. We're going to have to find that hole. Wiggle it around a little bit till we find it. There it is. Now I'm going to crank this back up, make it flush, and then tighten it back down. I'll figure out the spec for you here in a second. So the torque spec for your subframe bolts is 130. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten that down to spec. All right, we're torqued to spec. Let's go do the other one. See? It caught it. All right, second one's going on. Got the jack right here, don't forget about that. Don't forget about your jack stands either. You're gonna need them. All right, let me use both hands to finesse this bolt around my intercooler lines. All right, spacer 2 installed and torqued to spec. Okay, let's go do the back ones. Where did they go? We'll find them. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take my wheels off because I'm gonna have to take them off anyways. It's a little easier to get to if I took the wheel off. So we're gonna do that. All right, jack up this corner like so. Sorry, just enough pressure to hold it up there. And use your 18 socket to torque it out of there. Oh my goodness, this one's a different size. All right, well, why the fronts are 18s, the backs for some reason are 21 millimeters. See it? See, it fits on there nice and snug. So let's do that. Perfect. All right, let's lower this down ever so slightly. Oh my. Oh, that didn't go anywhere. Oh geez. We might have to do the backs at the same time. Move our jack in the middle here. All right, I centered my jack. Let's go take the other tire off, get that one out. Hopefully they'll both drop down. We'll do them both at the same time. All right, got the other bolt out on the other side. Let's see what happens now. Perfect. Perfect amount of room. Yep. Let's get that straight in there. Go ahead and stick your bolts in like this. Make sure that the holes are centered. And then we're gonna go ahead and jack the subframe back up, get rid of that slack, and then bolt these suckers back in. Yeah, buddy. Well, we got them all installed. Here's the other one. One of the ones in the front. Got them all installed. Awesome. I guess I could pop the hood for you and check out, see how much lower it is. Yeah. All right. It's definitely sitting a little lower. See, I had to cut out there previously. Not real happy about that, but we're gonna get a better hood one of these days. Eventually my hood will be for sale if anybody wants it. You know, pretty good condition. But yeah, it definitely looks like it's sitting a little lower. I don't really have anything to look to compare with, but yeah, I mean, normally it makes contact right here. I had to take my little connector cover off because it was interfering. It was making contact right here, right here. Eventually it broke this plug, well, the black side of it, and I had to replace this entire thing. I had to find one to pull apart. Yeah, it's just a little lower. Let's install the spacers on the trans mount. The trans mount's gonna be right here. Yep, that's right. I got the shitty one. You can either put it right here or up top. I think I'm gonna put it right here. So, and then the engine mount, same thing on the other side. I think I gotta take this cover off too on the other side, but we'll see. All right, other side. That's your engine mount right there. That little black section right there got a bunch of hoses in the way. I hate doing lower engine mounts. They freaking suck. There's 2 holes on the bottom to access the bolts. Am I leaking oil? Well, gosh darn, I'm leaking oil. Huh. Better figure out where that's coming from. That's the first time I've ever seen that. All right, since we're gonna be jacking the engine up from the underside to get to these, put a piece of block right there, whatever, put it on your transmission pan. And if I had to recall, I'm pretty sure these are 15. Yeah, these are a 15. So you're gonna take these off, and then we're gonna go to the other side and take the other ones off with lower engine mount, and then jack it up to make clearance on both sides. Of course, with the lower engine mount, it's just simple as that. You know, they come out of these holes Sorry, I broke my stand. And that's it. Got the bolts out. Same ones over on that side. Now we're gonna jack the engine up and slip those spacers in. Oh my god, it's so cringe. Oh! Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a little higher now. I'm gonna put those spacers in so I can put it back. And of course you're gonna use the smaller spacer here because, well, it just kind of lines up, you know? I've heard a lot of people say that they don't line up. And that looks like the case, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go get this drilled out. I've heard about this happening. So in this case, if they don't line up, just drill another hole out to the side of one of them. It's kind of unfortunate. I think ZZP would have fixed that already, but I'm gonna go do that. You don't need anything this fancy, but I think it'll do, buddy. Yeah, it might get the job done. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're just gonna widen the holes a little bit on each side. A little too technical to me. I didn't know it had an anti-lock braking system. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, ABS.
How much did you widen it, or are you widening it?
That's what the love of money does.
You widen it by 5 millimeters. You gonna do that on both sides? Okay, in case you want to know the measurements, we extended it by 5 millimeters on either side going outward. And it fits great now. So you can go back and forth. So, it fits wonderful now. Just like that. Quick little tip, taking the top bolts off is a great way to help get all of this down here back in line and into the holes, because when you lift the engine up, it's going to want to go up in this way like you saw when I was doing it. So this will allow you for that extra adjustment so you can get everything lined up, and then just let the weight down on it and it should go right in. Now, since you have a spacer here, that means you've taken up some thread on the bottom. As you can see, not much there anymore. So you're going to want to get some Loctite. Put some Loctite inside these bolts and put them on there. I normally go the nice and tight method, but you know, if you want to look for the specs, go for it. Freaking finally got that spacer on. I moved the plastic out of the way if you haven't noticed. Yeah, that was no fun trying to figure out how to get that thing back lined up and put back in the holes, but you know, it is what it is. Let's do the lower engine mount side now. Alright, so after removing my lower engine mount, which shouldn't be bad because I just changed it, you all probably saw the video on that. It looks like the only place that this spacer can go is in between here, between the top bracket and the actual rubber hydraulic mount itself. So I'm going to take these off. I think they're 15s. Yeah, 15s. That comes off. That goes on. Barely. Let me go get a hammer. I'll just whack this a few times, I guess. Maybe it'll eventually after I'm done screwing up my threads. Whatever, man. That's what I got this big boy for. No, threads are fine. Alright, well that's on there. It's got some wiggle room, so it's fine. Then we just put our bracket back on. Same case scenario on the other side. Loctite, because you don't have much thread to play with there. Yeah, Loctite and the tight enough method for me. Yes ma'am, I would like some engine mount with my Loctite, please. Thanks. Alright, I'm gonna put it back in there. And boom, baby, we got it back in. Looking good. Just make sure you don't pinch these lines right here. And yeah, so hopefully this is gonna fix our problem with our axle wobble. I'm gonna put this plastic cover back in as soon as I find some zip ties and find out where that oil leak is coming from. And it turns out, if y'all were curious, that sensor right there. I've had to replace one of those before. It's an oil pressure sensor, and on these cars, when they go, boy, do they freaking go! They spew oil everywhere. So as soon as you see them leaking like that, always replace them. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this cover back on and give it a go. And it's all on. So I'm gonna put the tires on and let it down, and we should be done and good to go. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you. I hope it was informative. Please subscribe, like, share, refer back to this if you need to. Until next time, I feel like the next video is going to be some maintenance work, because I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out where this oil leak is coming from. I mean, it's either the oil pressure plug or pressure sensor plug, the oil pan gasket, which I haven't changed yet, and the rear valve cover gasket, which is brand new. I mean, it's about a year old. Well, until next time, drive easy.